The cold, imposing walls of the medium-security prison stand like sentinels, witnessing the daily rhythm of life behind bars, a world rarely seen and seldom understood. The echoes of metal doors clanging shut intertwine with distant conversations, creating an unsettling symphony of confinement. As the listener is drawn into this hidden environment, they are invited to feel the weight of isolation while understanding the different stories unfolding within these walls. This documentary aims to peel back the layers of incarceration, revealing the rich tapestry of human experience that resides here. Each inmate's voice carries the weight of their past, while offering insights into their struggles and transformations. Their stories, woven together through diary entries, will illuminate the journey of redemption and resilience. Through soundscapes that capture the essence of prison life, laughter, whispers, and shared moments, the listener will embark on an emotional journey that challenges preconceived notions about those who live behind the bars. As Jenna settled into the stark reality of prison life, the weight of her past loomed larger than ever. Her first day felt like stepping into a void, cold metal walls echoing her fears, a stark contrast to the vibrant world she used to know. Nestled in her cell, she reflected on her chaotic life outside, stained by addiction and a desperate search for belonging. But every clank of the heavy door reminded her of her isolation. Jenna felt the suffocating grip of regret, missing the freedom to express herself through art. In her diary entry, she wrote about the haunting memories of her struggles, the chaos of addiction, and the fleeting moments of joy now lost behind bars. As she penned her thoughts, she realized that within this confinement lay an unexpected opportunity, an ignited flame of hope that could lead her to rediscover herself, if only she could find a way to channel her pain. Jenna stood in the art room, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead as she nervously unwrapped her first set of supplies. The walls, bare and cold, quickly felt like a canvas for her suppressed emotions. Her diary entry from that day captured an awakening, a realization that art could be her lifeline. She dipped her brush into vibrant acrylics, each stroke of color a release from the chains of her past. As she painted, laughter erupted from her fellow inmates, filling the room with an unexpected warmth. The sound mingled with the rhythmic swish of brushes on canvas, transforming her isolation into a sense of community. With each mural, she told their stories, stories of loss, hope, and renewal. Amid the chaos of prison life, Jenna discovered a profound connection to her surroundings, finding healing not only for herself, but also for those who shared their lives behind these unforgiving bars. As the heavy metal doors closed behind him, Marcus felt the weight of his former life settle on his shoulders. Memories of the streets flashed through his mind, moments of violence, loyalty, and the bonds forged in hardship. In a diary entry that evening, he reflected on how his past as a gang member led him here, caught in a cycle of crime and consequence. The tension in the air of the prison lay thick, punctuated by murmurs of anger and defiance. Yet, amidst this turmoil, Marcus began to redefine himself. He thought of the younger inmates who looked up to him, seeing not just an elder, but a potential leader. In the yard, whispers of camaraderie mingled with the distant sounds of a basketball bouncing, creating an unexpected rhythm of hope in an otherwise bleak reality. Marcus was ready to embrace this new role, eager to protect and mentor those who had once walked the same treacherous path he had. As Marcus settled into his new role as a mentor, he felt the weight of his past pressing on his shoulders. His diary entries revealed the friction he faced, navigating the complexities of gang loyalties while trying to earn respect from the younger inmates. The noise of the gym yard was a constant reminder of his former life, filled with grunts of effort and the hum of tension. The distant sounds of basketball bouncing echoed his thoughts as he reflected on the path he'd chosen. He passionately shared his experiences during group discussions, hoping to illuminate the dangers of their former lifestyles. Moments of confrontation tested his resolve, but each encounter strengthened his determination to guide others toward a better future. The ambient noise of laughter and camaraderie in the background highlighted the fragile community he was trying to cultivate, one where trust could flourish amidst the chaos of their lives behind bars. Marcus settles onto the hard bench of the prison yard, surrounded by familiar faces that echo his past. The air is thick with idle chatter and distant laughter, remnants of camaraderie woven into the fabric of his life before. Today he contemplates loyalty, a complex bond born from shared struggles and dreams, yet so easily fractured by the rigors of prison. As the younger inmates circle him, eager for guidance, Marcus feels the weight of their expectations. He recalls his diary entry from yesterday, words spilling out, reflecting on a time when he too craved direction amid chaos. With memories of gang allegiances pulsing in his mind, he speaks openly about the importance of steering clear of violence. He shares stories of resilience, urging them to build trust over fear. The ambient sounds of the yard, the rustle of sneakers against gravel, the echo of light-hearted banter, begin to symbolize more than just a prison life. They transform into the undercurrents of a brotherhood seeking a different path. Richard felt a surge of regret wash over him as he stared at the stark walls of his cell, a far cry from the bustling boardrooms where he once thrived. In his diary, he penned thoughts of a life once lived in pursuit of wealth, now traded for the stark reality of incarceration. Each stroke of the pen echoed the pages of endless self-reflection, the sound of turning pages, a mingling of hope and despair. Within the prison's makeshift classroom, Richard embraced a renewed sense of purpose as he began teaching fellow inmates. The ambience buzzed with discussions about philosophy and ethics, where laughter shared among peers rang like music to his ears. Education became his lifeline, transforming emptiness into empowerment. With each lesson learned, Richard discovered that knowledge held the key, not just to freedom from behind bars, but to a deeper understanding of himself and the world he had once sought to conquer. Richard sat in the dimly lit classroom, surrounded by a group of fellow inmates eager to learn. As he flipped through the pages of his well-worn books, he felt a surge of purpose that he hadn't experienced since his life outside these walls. His diary entries chronicled his regret, how greed had overshadowed his values and led him here, yet he clung to the belief that education could lead to redemption. With each lesson he taught, Richard witnessed transformations, hesitant hands raised to ask questions, eyes lighting up with understanding. The sounds of paper rustling, whispered discussions, and laughter created a harmony of growth within the otherwise oppressive prison atmosphere. Richard's heart swelled with hope as he realized knowledge was not merely a path to personal freedom, but a bridge connecting inmates to a future where they could reclaim their lives. In this shared pursuit of learning, he discovered the profound power of education as a means of liberation for all. Introducing Sophia, a passionate and determined 22-year-old, her journey behind bars is marked by the stark reality of being wrongfully convicted. Through her diary entries, she reflects on her life before prison, a vibrant tapestry of dreams interwoven with her fight against systemic injustices. Each entry reveals her resilience, documenting not only her struggles, but also her unwavering hope for justice. The muted sounds of conversations among prison advocates fill the background as she connects with others enduring similar fates, fostering a sense of solidarity within the walls. Sophia's ambition shines through her interactions with fellow inmates as she organizes gatherings that encourage dialogue and support. These meetings serve as a lifeline, breathing life into her aspirations and creating a shared vision for life beyond bars. With every word, she draws strength from her community, reminding herself and others of their innate worth and dreams, amplifying their cries for justice against a backdrop of hope. As Sophia navigates her life behind bars, she finds herself compelled to create a supportive community among her fellow inmates. In her diary, she reflects on the profound strength that emerges when individuals come together, united by their shared struggles and dreams. With whispered hopes and a collective determination to rise above their circumstances, she organizes solidarity meetings in the dimly lit corners of the recreational area. The sound of quiet conversations blends with the flickering of fluorescent lights, creating an atmosphere of trust and encouragement. Each meeting becomes a sanctuary where stories of injustice and resilience are traded like precious currency. Sophia's role as an advocate amplifies the voices of those who feel invisible, fostering an environment where vulnerability becomes strength. The ambient sounds of laughter, shared tears, and rallying calls fill the air, reminding her and her friends that even in confinement, hope can flourish, offering a glimpse of freedom beyond the bars. As the days passed, the intertwining lives of Jenna, Marcus, and Richard began to reveal their shared humanity. Each was navigating the complexities of their pasts, and in moments of isolation, vulnerability seeped through their armor. One evening, while Jenna painted her latest mural, the hushed conversations revealed their fears. Marcus spoke of the pull of his old life, while Richard wrestled with feelings of inadequacy after a tough day teaching. With the soft echoes of paintbrushes and the distant sounds of life in the yard, they confided in one another, finding solace in their shared struggles. Laughter mingled with tears as they explored deeper questions of loyalty and hope, forging an unspoken bond that transcended their crimes. In this fragile space, amid the metal clinks and murmurs of prison life, they discovered that vulnerability could be a powerful catalyst for connection and healing, reminding them that even behind bars, their stories could intertwine in profound ways. As the days passed, doubt crept into the hearts of Jenna, Marcus, and Richard, their journal entries drenched in the weight of personal setbacks. Jenna wrestled with feelings of inadequacy as she painted over canvases that seemed to mock her struggles. "What if my art can't change anything?" she pondered, the sound of her brush hesitating against the canvas echoing her fears. Meanwhile, Marcus confronted a confrontation with a younger inmate, his protective instincts clashing with the urge to distance himself from old gang ties. "I felt the walls closing in. It was hard to breathe," he wrote, the tension palpable in the rustling paper of his diary. Richard's face bore the anxiety of broken dreams, education slipping through his fingers as he questioned whether he was teaching anything meaningful. Amidst the overwhelming silence, the sounds of frustration combined in the hollow corridors, underscoring their collective struggle. Each moment of despair etched deeper into the fabric of their experiences, reminding them that growth doesn't come without its trials. In the dim light of the common area, the atmosphere buzzes with a mixture of tension and camaraderie as Jenna, Marcus, and Richard gather for an unexpected support session. They lean into their vulnerabilities, sharing stories of past struggles and recent setbacks, moments that once felt insurmountable. Jenna speaks softly about her latest mural, where she captured the weight of her emotions, feeling her art could only express a fraction of her journey. Marcus, eyes intent, reflects on the loneliness that still shadows him, even in his mentoring role. Richard adds his own struggles, grappling with feelings of inadequacy despite his academic pursuits. Yet amidst these confessions, a palpable sense of unity arises, the realization that they are not alone in their battles. The ambient sounds of the prison, the clatter of utensils, distant conversations, and light laughter, form a backdrop, echoing their collective strength. They embrace the power of shared experience, each encouraging the other to hold on to hope.